call, I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, died a little bit inside. You know, maybe things are gonna be alright. 'Cause I just wanna see the light.
It's Tina
I just
Doom
wanna see the
Showtime!
light.
And they're on in a race time. Fernando, which way to go? Left or right? It's all eyes on the Ferrari. Stylo has done the impossible. This is the move. This is the moment.
And that puts Rapture on the podium.
But it's this man who comes home victorious. It's Red Bull. It's the race. Who wins? Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another week here of Moose Racing League Tier 1. My name is Punju, and I am so excited to be joining you guys here at the Circuit de Catalunya in Spain. It is one of the most amazing tracks that we get to feature here on the Moose Racing League calendar. Personally, one of my actual favorites. I personally find it to just be so ridiculously fun, and I know my co-commentator here also loves it. Say hello to our good friend, Mr. Dutchman. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, my man.
Good evening, good evening. No worries. I absolutely love being here.
Yeah, so obviously, we've had a bit of a crazy week this week so far out there racing. It's been a lot of carnage, a lot of crazy racing throughout the entire tiers, but we're now here at the premier tier, the top of the timetables here in Moose Racing League, and we know this tier to get as wild as possible. Now, you mentioned you actually don't watch a whole ton of tier 1, so for you going into this race, what are you most excited to see?
I'm most excited to see close racing, good overtakes, maybe even some bold strategies. So, given that it's tier 1 and drivers don't tend to make a lot of mistakes at the higher levels, at least that's what I'm expecting.
You think, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what these guys can bring.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very fun tier. Now, you're right, when it comes to close racing, that's actually one of the things that I mentioned in my race notes, which I think is probably a good time for us to go ahead and take a look at this. The race notes we got here today, it's one of the most overtake-friendly tracks actually on the entire circuit, or on the entire calendar. One thing I didn't mention is the fact that there was over 100 overtakes here in the real 2023 race this year.
Oh,
so yes. So it is extremely overtake heavy. A very good opportunity, for a lot of drivers to make up positions if they don't have the best qualifying. But at the same time, all those overtakes usually just get right back undone the next lap. So it's one of those where they kind of swap around. Now, speaking of somebody who's been getting undone, it's this guy Minico. He's still holding the championship, but I mean, how long do you think he's going to be able to hold on to that one? What do you think, Dutchman?
I'm not too familiar with the championship standings at the moment. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Well, he's barely holding on to it. I mean, last season he won the one leaf clover, I think very rightfully so. And so for him to then go and put it on the top of the standings for the season is pretty crazy to me. But he's only holding on by just a thread, so we'll see if he can handle it. Now, I did also mention to you already, but this is the first reserve-heavy Tier 1 race of the season, and I think that's gonna add a lot of craziness. The reserves, they can either be super clean or the most crazy people on the track. In your experience, do you find reserves to bring good good battles? Or do you think it makes it even scarier for these drivers?
Well, it actually just depends on the personality of the reserve driver. Because if the reserve driver is an aggressive driver normally, then they really want to make themselves known. They will really want to prove themselves, and that might lead to some bad overtakes, some sketchy moments. But there are also guys that are really scared in their first race, like I was. And they just don't want to make any mistakes. They don't want to have any incidents. They just want a clean weekend.
Yeah.
And if you have those drivers, those are the nice reserves to have. They just kind of ease into it.
That's a very good point. Yeah, I'm hoping that we have more of those guys, but we are here in tier 1. We're more likely to get more of the egos than the other tiers. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Unfortunately, our hopes might not be answered. However, somebody who does want his hopes answered is Minico, the guy on my top drivers to watch, because he's still holding down the championship lead right now, and he's pretty good at this track. So I think he's got a shot.
He's actually already retired in the pits.
Oh, has he really?
Yep.
He's going last to first. Wow, interesting choice. Okay, he says I'm 100% losing the championship lead today. That's what he's saying in chat. So we'll see if he does prove that right. Now Drix, obviously on my drivers to watch, always crazy. He's the most winningest driver we have here in Moose Racing League. And the next one I put on here, which maybe is a little bit shocking for some people, is Magical Forehead. I think he's had some good runs of races the last 3 races. A little bit unlucky in the back half of them. So I want to see what he can do. Oh, Minico says I had a quali ban because I didn't know of a quali rule. Rough. Very rough.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
That's tough. Yep. I actually don't even remember.
I mean, if there's one track to get a quali ban on, this one is not the worst one, because again, overtaking is quite forgiving and easily.
That's a very good point. Yeah, if there ever was a track to get a quality ban on, if you could pick it, I would pick this one for sure. Now, speaking of the track, let's go ahead and take a look at this track map that we've got here. We've got a whole crazy 14 corners around 4.6 kilometers. The place is 2.893 miles for those of you guys that use normal measurement systems. Now, of course, across those 14 corners, a bunch of undulation and elevation change. The resurfaced turns 13 and 14 at the very back is where a lot of the craziness is going to happen for sure, with totally different corners now instead of the old chicane, with 3 DRS zones as well. For these drivers to make some fun overtakes. Sorry, 2 DRS zones, excuse me, to make some fun overtakes. And of course, the majority of them happen going into turn 1, but some of them every once in a while you'll get people making moves into turn 3 and 4 here and there. So I'm excited to see if they can actually make that one happen. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into this race. I say we go ahead and watch some racing. What do you think?
Oh, I'm down for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do it.
I'm already scrolling down the relay to see who is on the lap.
You're already checking everybody's laps? Looks like, yeah, Drix already has a 1:11.0. That's insane. Speaking of insane for a 1:11.0, oops, looks like I'm on the wrong scene for us. Let's go ahead and just get right into this thing. Drix at a 1:11.0. We said it's pretty insane, which it is insane, don't get me wrong. But did you know that there was actually a Tier 3 driver that set time identical to that, a 1:11.0?
Really? A Tier 3 driver?
A Tier 3 driver.
Wow.
It was my teammate Shrimpies. Put down a 1:11.0, 6/10 ahead of the rest of the field.
Of course, it's a McLaren.
Of course, it's McLaren, right? But unfortunately, his race definitely did not go quite as planned. Now, we said something about Magical Forehead in the race notes, and look at that. He's sitting currently unable to set a time, and still in the pits as well. So I'm curious as when he's going to go ahead and get out there. We only got 10 minutes left this qualifying session, and as of right now, we got Drix on the top, Sketchy Bull in second, Don't Blink in third, Speedy Goose sitting in fourth, DeFi reserving in fifth, 100th of a second behind. Brake Tester, this one is Santiago Robles in 6th, Zeech in 7th, Ducky Falcons in 8th, Snake E in 9th, and Scornsy currently rounding out the top 10 of qualifying. We're on Snaky camera right now. It looks like he's on a hot lap as well. He's flying. What can he do through Sector 2? He's up in a sign by a 10th right now. It would put him up into the potentiality of actually 3rd or 4th, and goes a little wide. We're really using all the track you possibly can. Holy smokes, Snake. Did he lose time or gain time? Look at him. He's on rails right now. Barely keeping it alive. He's making mistakes. Yeah, he goes in the pits. That's it for Sneaky. That seemed a little bit aggressive, did it not? It was a little wild. Now, Dutchy, you said you didn't watch last week's Tier 1, did you?
No, I didn't. No.
Well, I'd say we go ahead and take a look at the standings from last week. Last week's Tier 1 race was pretty nuts. We had Sketchyville finish on the winner's step of the podium with Xylo in second and Dougie Falcons in third after all penalties were said and done. It was pretty nuts, I will say. Pretty nuts. I'm curious to see how it's gonna work out. I also just realized Ketchen is asking a very important question, to which my answer is unfortunately a hard no, and I'm really hoping that somebody in the lobby is running the app, because I was going to invite Kamau, but he's not here. Dutchy, do you know about our wonderful app that gives us all this data?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah, so we run this really cool app called League Racing Tools. Where they give us all this great data to look at for these races. And this guy forgot to run it. Whoopsies. No worries though. Now somebody is saying, Sketchable is saying, take a moment to realize that all my wins have been at a U.S. track apart from Mexico, which is effectively a U.S. track. Yeah, it seems like Sketchable only knows how to do well on home soil. Since you're, not super familiar with this tier, Dutchie, and all you really know is Yellow Snowman, I'll kind of give you a little bit of a rundown. The people to really watch is obviously Drix, Yellow Snowman. I'd say Sketchable, Giants Fan Xylo. I think a bit of a dark horse in this group is Snaky pretty consistently. Magical Forehead, Minico, of course. Basically half the grid has a shot at a win every single week. So
Who would you say is the most incident prone? Who has the most incidents?
ooh, incident prone. I'm gonna say we're probably on for Dougie Falcons in the Williams. Or I love Dougie too. He's actually a really nice guy, but he does find himself getting in stuff.
I'm actually quite happy that you need to think about this because that means there's a lot of clean driving.
Well, no, it's just that everybody's crazy. No, it actually is. It actually is pretty clean the majority of the time. Like, I'm so happy with the way that Tier 1 has been. It's been amazing. Also, Ketchin is telling me I should still be able to start my program. However, let's see if I can find my program, because I don't remember. I never really set it up properly, so I'm hoping that somebody in this lobby has League Racing tools. I think Snowman does. Could be wrong. Nathan, maybe? Yeah. Well, we may be without some of our extra data at the end of the race tonight. We shall see. But I think we should go ahead and take a look at the standings. Have you seen, or have you taken a look at the standings going into this race when it comes to Tier 1 or the full teams?
Not the full teams, no.
Yeah, so I say let's go ahead and take a look at the Tier 1 for a second, so you guys can kind of see where we're at. Minico, obviously, we talked about, is leading the championship right now while we're in a bit of a lull. Giants Fan sits in second, though, and Magical Forehead sits in third. So Giants Fan, after last week's pretty not great race, along with Magical Forehead's not great race last week, and Minico's, of course, all three of the people on the podium, or on the top step right now in the championship standings, did not have a good race last week. So they're obviously all hoping for something better than last week, effectively. Underneath that, though, is Drix, who's only raced a couple races, and he's already sitting at 50 points. So you know what he's done both races. He's won. Which is just insane for me to think about. He's just so dang good compared to the rest of the grid. Wow, that's insane for me to look at this one. I still can't believe that's true, but Double A's is actually sitting in 5th, with Sketchy Bull sitting in 6th. Don't Blink in 7th, Dougie Falcons as a reserve in 8th. Bops as a reserve in 9th, and Xylo in 10th. So the top 10 has 2 reserves, followed by, along with 8 full-time drivers. And when it comes to the full teams, we saw that Mercedes was doing decent in Tier 1, but they're doing much better across the board, still sitting in the lead going into this week. However, Williams and McLaren both catching up, and Aston Martin hot on the heels as well in 4th, not too far off. When you're looking at this full team standing, Dutchie, which groups do you think are going to have the tightest battles going into the final few rounds?
Hold on, let me just quickly pull it up here.
I am personally looking at that battle for 3rd, effectively. I think is going to be crazy, dude. I think it's going to be so wild.
The battle for 3rd is going to be insane to watch. Maybe even possibly P2 can be dragged into it as well, with Williams not too far up ahead.
Yeah. That's true. Now, I think that Mercedes, though, they had a bit of a rough week this week. So, oh, and we actually got a 5-place grid penalty for Dougie Falcons crashing into Snaky on a qualifying lap. Oh, no. So I mentioned Dougie Falcons is incident prone. He finds himself with an incident. There he is in 9th, stuck in the gravel right here. Gonna go backwards, and he disqualifies himself for going the wrong way. That was silly.
Oh, my God.
Should have just gone around.
I was on his POV, but I wasn't on the F123 screen. I was looking at the stream for the
oh man,
for the standings, so I didn't see it.
Tough one for Dougie, dude. What was he thinking right there? Now he's gonna have to really work for it. He's sitting now at the very back. Minico on the quali ban has a better position than Dougie Falcons does after disqualifying himself out of qualifying here. So that's tough. It's about to become a bit of a crazy car park. Yeah, get ready for this car park of qualifying. It's gonna be a little bit nuts. We got 3.5 minutes left of this session, and
I mean, if you want to get a lap in, now is actually just the perfect time to do it. Just before everybody else goes out on their final run. You are, because I'm watching Lynx right now, and he has a clear track in front of him. He's got no distractions. Sure, he might not get a toe down the straight, but he's slowing down. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, Drix, I think, is getting himself warmed up. Now, take a look at the gaps in qualifying. Look at this. We got from first all the way down to 17th to Snaky is separated by just barely 0.6 of a second. That's
insane.
That's silly, dude. That is so silly. Like, since when did this get so close, man? This is absolutely ridiculous, man. Jordan says Mercedes is in the mud this week. Yeah, so they're not doing great.
The entire top 10 is so close together, you can't even blink against it.
Is that a don't blink joke right there?
Yeah.
Nice one. I like it. I like the dad jokes. Speaking of which, I think he's actually on a hot lap. No, he's on an out lap right now. He's charging up, getting ready for a hot lap. He was on a hot lap. It looks like he's done with it. So, yeah, now he's recharging. He's fully charged up. Let's see if Don't Blink can improve. Right now he sits at a 111.238. Wow. They are sitting pretty decent. But what can Blink do to improve? Otherwise known as throat yogurt, by the way, in case you ever want to know.
Hey.
That's his thing. BTA Andy is actually out of the session. He is retired in the pits, so the bottom 4 have all been decided. Anything south of 16th is done now. So everybody's just fighting for the top 16 effectively at this point. And who's going to be the back of this timetable? Is it going to be Braided Axe? He's not going to be able to improve. Don't Blink looks like he has a pretty solid first couple corners. Coming up on a Red Bull right here. And he's down in his time actually by 0.02 of a second. So he's got to find some pace here in this middle sector. What does he have to improve? He has on slightly scrubbed out tires as well. So he's got to really find something special right here. Drix, though, up into third right here. He is down on his best time. He's charging back up, getting ready for a fresh one. Staying out of the way of everybody. Needs to find a way to charge up quickly. Yep, he's not going to block his Mercedes teammate. There he goes. He's going for it. His Mercedes teammate, DeFi, also on an out lap. So what can Drix do to improve? Back to throat yogurt. Otherwise known as Don't Blink.
Yeah, he's 5/10 down on his time at the moment.
Oh, 5/10 worse?
Yep.
Nah, it's not going to be it then. Yeah, he's going to go in. He's called it. Don't Blink. The best he will have is 6th place at a 111.238. Just barely in front of Speedy Goose. Sits at a 111.259, who has improved on his time as of right now. 0.06 of a second faster. What's he got? He's about to cross the marker. He's 11 thousandths of a second slower right now. So that's exactly what Blink needs to see. He wants to see a little bit of red coming from Speedy Goose's sector times. But I don't know if it's a whole lot of that's going to be happening. He's about to cross line pretty soon. We got a Red Bull about to cross line as well. And that's, I think, Scornsy starting a lap. Yep, so... Oh, that's actually Speedy Goose spinning on the final corner. Oh, no. Into the pits, Speedy Goose has spun it. And the best he will have is a 111.259 as well. Wow. Oh, he was pitting? Oh, dang. Looks like he couldn't improve.
Yeah, I'm watching Drix right now. He's a 10th down on his time, coming up to the final 2 corners right now. And he dives it into the pits.
Oh, wow. Giants fan improves even more at a 110.894. What the heck?
Jesus Christ.
I know Sketchy Bull's flying right now. Just kidding. He lost all of his time. He's now 3 seconds down. DeFi is done. He's got a 5th place, though, to 111.109. Quick one from him. Magical Forehead is not improving as of right now. He's a whole 10th off of his best time. Oh, no. What about Yellow Snowman? He's actually in the fight of this one, but he's a 10th off of his best time as well. Is he going to retire? No, he's going to try it in the final corner. What can he do? How's that final corner? He's got a 111.3 right now. Doesn't improve. 111.536 for himself. CDR Nathan not improving as well. Gamer not improving as well. Scornsy not improving enough. He won't be able to do it. Braided Axe won't improve enough either, and it's going to be Magical Forehead, the only one with a chance. He's 0.06 of a second up, though. Can he do the impossible and grab pole?
This is going to be so tight. This is going to be very tight. Up to the line is going to be a 1...
Oh!
10-8, and he grabs pole!
What a spot for Magical Forehead. I said he was one to watch this week. And look at that. Magical Forehead goes and grabs himself a pole position here at the final moment of qualifying 2. 2/10 in one corner at the very end is what he found. That's absurd. At a 110.814, that is a genuinely freaky time. And Giants fan is pipped off of that position by 0.08 of a second. So the margins are thin here in Spain.
Yeah, he must have got those last two corners absolutely perfect.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
there's no way you can gain 2/10 otherwise.
Yeah, no way. That's crazy. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, we got Magic Forehead with the perfect final sector at a 1:10.814, putting himself on pole. Second place to Giants fan. Third to the Ferrari of Zylo. Great racing from him, or great qualifying from him. Then the Mercedes duo sits in fourth and fifth. Their only hope for the day of Mercedes. Sketchy Bull in sixth, Sebi in seventh, Don't Blink in eighth, Speedy Goose in ninth, and Yellowstone rounding out the top 10, separating the entire top 10 by just half a second. CDR Nathan, Brake Tester, Gamer, Zeech, Scornsy, Braided, Snaky, Andy, Minico, and Dougie all make up the back 10 here in qualifying. And it's about to get nasty. It is going to get a little bit wild, Dutchy. Well, this is going to be nuts.
I'm really excited for this race start. I hope it's going to be cleaner than Tier 4, because Tier 4 was absolute carnage.
That I think you can usually count on. Usually, minus last year, of course, or last season, ironically enough. Tier 1's race starts are actually pretty dang clean, especially with something like Magical Forehead sitting on the top step, and just that general, top 3 seems pretty, dialed in. I expect a good qualifying. I expect a good, first couple laps here.
Yeah, but it could always be that one person that locks up their brakes, goes that little bit too wide, and then it's just a domino effect to the rest of the field.
That's a very good point, especially heading into turn 1 after such a strong, such a fast straightaway. Yeah, this turn 1 here is ripe for action. It's ripe for mistakes and bad things to happen. Of course, it's not what we want to see, but at the same time, it is kind of what we want to see to a certain extent. Because we like it to get wild.
I mean, it's a drama we love.
Yes, exactly. Now, Dutchy, with this being your first Tier 1 race, I'm really excited for you to go ahead and commentate with us, man. This is going to be so much fun. And thanks again for joining me today. This is going to be a blast. I know you're wearing your championship shirt. Which team did you win that championship on?
Sorry, what?
Which team did you win that championship on again? That was back when you were Red Bull, right?
Red Bull. Yeah, that was back in my Red Bull days. My very first season in MRL.
That OG season. And that being said, your Red Bull guys here, they had a bit of an all-right qualifying. Not the best, not the worst. But what do you think for Red Bull tonight in the race?
I mean, if they can just keep it clean, keep out of trouble, they should be able to make a couple of positions forward.
Yeah.
And have a very good race.
That's a very good
Get
point.
some great points for the team.
Yeah, let's I'm gonna say I wish them the best of luck. We'll see if they can go ahead and put that one down. Looks like Pog says Red Bull Season 6 goes to the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Pogs. How's it going, mate? All right, guys. It's about time for the lights. I'll go ahead and count you off. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are on. And they are off, and it is almost, there it is. Now it's race time. We are off here in Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix, and that's Tier 1 start. It's looking super solid so far. A couple cars moving left and right. You can see the McLaren's populating the midfield right there, but a good launch from Magical Forehead leaves him in the lead. Zylo and Giants fan almost go side by side in Turn 1, too. And his brake tester in the back. Yep, looks like there's some action right there for sure. Speedy Goose somehow stuck in the middle. There it is. Speedy Goose gets stuck, and he gets totally pinched out. Nothing he could do right here. Speedy goes down to the very back. I just happened to pop on his camera just the right time. And we got the virtual safety car already out saying, hey, guys, chillax. This start doesn't need to be this crazy. But Andy, up a position. Good for him.
Oh, wow, there's some drama further back as well. Yellow Snowman getting tangled up during the virtual safety car.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. He's missing a wing.
There are a lot of, yeah, and OZ is also missing a front wing. It looked like something has happened even further back after that Speedy Goose incident, because I saw a couple of front wings flying.
There are a few front wings gone, yeah. In fact, it's Zeech. Yeah, Zeech's missing one. Zeech has left the session. Oh, no.
Oh, he might have got disconnected. Braided X gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag.
And the penalties start to fly in. And speaking of which, actually, would you be able to invite Zeech if you could? That'd be helpful. In case he needs it. Yeah, taking a look at our positions gained so far on the start. We got Brake Tester up 4, Braided Axe up 5. Great gains on the start. And we got a drive-through penalty for DeFi. Oh, no! He got a drive-through for speeding under VSC, and now he's under big pressure from Sebi, who just gets himself right through. Sebi up into 5th. Wow, what a start from him. He's already up 2 positions. And at the front, it's Giants fan and Forehead battling it out. Giants fan actually making a position up. holding in the lead over Forehead, who's now down sitting in second. After such a blisteringly quick qualifying, he has to relegate. Xylo, though, sniffing a moment right there for Magical Forehead. Almost has the opportunity around the outside, potentially. Brave spot to go for it in turn 4. No warning there for Xylo. They're going to be side-by-side into 5 and 6. This is dangerous right here, going to 7. They keep it just enough room, and that's Xylo getting through. What a beautiful move, and a hard part to make the overtake, but he gets it done. Drix watching the battle in front, saying, I smell blood in the water. I will make moves up pretty soon. And down a little bit farther, it's DeFi fighting it again with Rich Sebi. Oh, Rich Sebi, a bit of leaving just enough room, but not too much more. Look at DeFi with the switchback underneath.
Undercut.
That was gorgeous. That was so gorgeous.
Yep.
He gets in front of him clean, too.
And then he dive stint with it. That was the perfect. That was literally the old switcheroo.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. It's a great way to get himself set up for serving a drive-through. He gets a little bit of action right before having to go to the pits. Dougie Falcons, though, after starting in the very back, is already up 10 positions. What the heck? So he's having a heck of a start. And Brake Tester as well, otherwise known as Santiago Robles. He's sitting in 5th. Fun fact about Santiago, by the way, he actually has some F1 Esports Challengers experience. So he's up there with the best of them. That's for sure. Man, that's tough. That start was definitely a little bit tough for a few of those guys. Snaky and Yellow Snowman, Zeech, Gamer, Scornzy, and Sketchybull all having to pit off that start. And the rest of the drivers, DeFi and Up, did not have to pit. Brake test, so as known as Santiago Robles, still holding it down, but Xylo up in the front, fighting it off with Giants Fan and Magical Forehead sitting in 3rd. It's a podium fight with Drix just kind of hanging out in the back. 4 cars all battling for 4 positions. 4 different manufacturers all fighting it. Dutchie, what are you seeing so far?
I'm seeing some great close racing. I'm very surprised that these guys are able to stay so close within each other. But maybe that's just because I'm used to tier 4.
That could be it. Yeah,
this is absolutely amazing to watch.
Yeah, if you look at those DRS trains right there, we've got obviously a train all the way up to 5th, and then behind 5th, it's a train that goes all the way down to 14th. A 10-car DRS train. And then obviously the rest of the guys have all been kind of messed around with because of having to take an extra pit stop. But you know what? It is a long race, so we'll see what they can do. As of right now, the Aston Martins are looking pretty solid as well. Santiago and Minico both making up quite a few positions. Let's go ahead and go back to those position changes. Santiago has made up 7, and Minico has made up 8. So far, that's the highest gaining team. But of course, Dougie Falcons with the most positions gained. He's not too far off from another one, too. Right up in the back of Braided Axe. Braided Axe, though, getting the DRS train as well. Has a little bit of advantage. CDR Nathan thinking about a move on Sebi. Can't find it on this outside. Looking for an inside lunge. Does he have the run? It's going to be tight, tight, tight. They're side by side into turn 12. But it looks like Sebi gives just enough room to hold off Nathan, but not too much to let him through. Ooh. And Sebi's done for right here. No shot. He's going to defend this one. DRS advantage plus ERS advantage. Sebi's going to lose 1, 2, maybe 3 positions. Oh my gosh, this is gnarly. Sebi looking to hold the inside line. Can't find it. No, he has to give it up. Smart move from him. Holy smokes, Dutchie. What an intro to Tier 1, man. You're seeing some good racing, aren't you?
Yeah, you went from 6th to 10th in 2 corners.
Oh, actually, he's been pushed.
He gets spun.
Oh, man.
Nope.
Rich Sebi getting pushed a little bit by Minico.
Yeah, it looks like Minico was just showing his nose at a place he really shouldn't have there.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Now, I mean, I don't blame him at the same time. Like, I think Minico probably didn't expect Rich Sebi to have to slow down that much to stay alive against Dougie Falcons and Braided Axe. But unfortunately, it was just one of those things where once he loses a little bit, he loses a lot of it. And now both the McLarens down in 12th and 13th. A bit of a rough race. They're both having lost positions. The only driver in the top 10 that's lost positions, though, is Magical Forehead, who sits in 3rd still. Giants Fan up in 2nd, and Xylo, of course, leading the race, looking pretty solid. Do we think the top 2 guys are just going to keep swapping positions lap after lap?
Well, Drix is on the back of Magical Forehead. He was 2 tenths back at the start of the straight, but lost out a little bit on the straight, so he might be running a high downforce setup.
Yeah,
They're magical.
You're right. He definitely could be. I wouldn't put that past him as well. I know Drix to usually like slightly higher downforce setups. He also loves to hang out on the hards, and it looks like he's the only one in those top 4 that is on the hards. Let's go ahead and take a look at everyone's tires. Yeah, he's the only one in the top 4 on the hards. He loves the hard tires. It's something he's always been good at. Every single F1 game, he seems to just merge them out and learn how to, just get the most out of them. The top 3, though, all sitting on mediums, going to have to pit a little bit earlier than Drix, so they will get the undercut. But by what amount of pace are they going to be able to hold him off in the second half of this race? Then brake tester on the mediums, Nathan on the hards, and then some random soft runners of Andy and Dougie Falcons. What do you think about that move? That's a little brave, isn't it?
It's certainly aggressive. And as you said, that Dougie Falcons might have been a little incident prone. It doesn't surprise me that he goes for the softs.
That's true.
But what I am seeing is that Drix, despite being on the hards, looks actually way more in control of his car than Magical Forehead in the corners.
And why do you say that? Do you just feel like he's able to kind of keep the car grip down a little bit better?
Yeah, Magical seems to be washing out wide at the exits of corners just a little bit, as Giants fan and Silo both get caught up on each other a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Looks
right up
like
on each other's
Silo
tail.
is struggling as well.
He definitely is. I was just about to say that too. Like, it seems like on his exits, especially, he's having to push this car to the maximum limit, and so he's really just trying to find every single inch of grip. And I think he's kind of running short on that. I think his tires might be getting burned out a little quicker than he maybe wants to.
Yeah, it looks like he's just keeps having those little snaps of oversteer, those little snaps under braking, which just slows you down those 0.5 of a second every single time. And those add up after a little while.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And
Now,
can really leave you vulnerable, especially down this main straight.
Yeah. Now, speaking of someone who's pretty vulnerable, I'm noticing right here in this back bit of the track, Drix seems to be able to catch up to Magical Forehead before they get up to that second last corner. And then once they get to the second last corner, Forehead just starts to gap out. And now it might be a double overtake. Xylo maybe going to lose 2 positions right here. Oh, big switch underneath for the AlphaTauri. He's going to be side-by-side alongside Xylo into turn 2, and Xylo barely holding it out. They're still side-by-side, bumping wheels, and Xylo holds him off, but very aggressively. That's full elbows out racing right there.
Yeah, that's amazing racing from Xylo there. Great job to keep it down the inside and then hanging it around the outside to get the inside again for turn 3.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing there.
He was thinking one move ahead every single time he had to make a little bit of a wobble. He was thinking like, hey, the next corner is obviously going to set me up to the point that I need to be on the outside line for the entry, and so let me go ahead and prep that and defend as such. And it's worked out great. He hasn't lost DRS from Giants fan through that tussle either, so it's not like he's going to be losing this position anytime soon. He's still well in contention with grabbing that lead back from Giants fan at the end of this lap. But you can see the gap between Xylo and Giants fan is definitely bigger than the ones of the 3 cars behind. So Giants fan slowly pulling away, but only ever so slightly.
Yeah, Drix is starting to have a little sniff of an overtake here against Magical. He might even have it done before the corner. Oh, he will.
Oh, yeah, he's on it. He's just flying, man. He's finally using some energy. But it looks like he only used just enough to get past 1. Didn't try to really burn it out and get in front of Xylo. But did use almost 20% of his energy just to make that move.
Yeah, and Magical saved all of his, so he's now sitting at 85% or just about. So he's really thinking the long game. He's really thinking towards the end of the stint to then just push and gain as much lap time as possible.
Yeah.
And
from Drix. Holy smokes, did he stick that? He stuck that.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
What an opportunistic spot for Drix to make a move. He's noticing these medium tires are starting to fall off from everybody. He said, hey, I've been patient. I've been waiting long enough. And there he goes. And he makes that move. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's making the extra downforce work just to his advantage there. Being able to get the car slowed down quicker with the extra downforce.
Yeah. Now,
really,
one person...
And being really brave on the brakes as well.
Very brave. Now, speaking of, just like general good comments about someone's character, it looks like we got a really cool message from Kiss My Axe, who has let us know that Don't Blink, otherwise known as Throat Yogurt, here in the Alfa Romeo, sitting in 7th, is at a hotel room right now, and he got the hotel for the night to make sure he can race today because he's currently in the middle of moving across the world. And so Don't Blink,
wow.
If you're watching this in the VOD, we appreciate your dedication. And from now on, we're always going to call you Throat Yogurt. It'll never be Don't Blink anymore. I think you deserve it for that level of dedication. That's absolutely insane, man. Wow, happy to have you racing, obviously, tonight, and just in general. And I hope that the result that you get tonight is equal to the effort that you're putting into it, which is quite a bit. So good luck out there, Don't Blink.
Currently, he's picking up some points for his efforts.
Yeah.
Sitting in P7, doing a really great job considering he's in a hotel room, which I imagine means he's on a controller as well.
I think he's always on controller, to be fair. I think he's a perpetual pad player, if I recall correctly. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe he is. So I don't think that's too different than usual, but he's still, out there and going for it, in a hotel room, which is just, that's mega dedication.
Yeah.
So
the hotel Wi-Fi is probably not going to be great.
No, I wonder if he's using a hotspot.
That might actually be a better shout.
It literally might be better, yeah.
He might be getting overtaken, though, by Falcons down this back straight. No, he's actually pulling away.
Yeah, not quite. Looks like he's able to hold off for now.
He's going for a move himself, though, on a Nathan. Down the inside. Can Nathan hang around the outside? Yeah, he comes back at him.
Dougie Falcons found them fighting. Look at him go. Is he going to get around the outside of him? I think he might. It's going to be side by side into turn 3, 4 short, and maybe into turn 4. Nope. It's Dougie Falcons making the move on Don't Blink, who tried to get opportunistic on the Red Bull. Red Bull just gave him enough of a shove. Not so much to the point that's a penalty, but enough of a wheel bump. So he had to stay behind. Wow, that's tight.
Yeah, that was actually really great heads-up racing from Dougie Falcons. He saw Don't Blink or Yogurt going for Nathan, going for the move for Nathan. And and he thought to himself, I'm going to let them battle and just shoot my way around them. And he gained a spot because of it. So
yeah, it was
really great thinking there from Dougie Falcons.
I have to agree. It was phenomenal race awareness. Now, the person that he's filling in for right now, Dougie Falcons, is actually Double A's, who we know to be really quick as well. So, happy to have him here, but sad to have him gone at the same time. Up at the front, though, it's Giants fan losing a position to Drix. Drix now officially leading the race finally here on lap 12. Took him some time. But he said, I'll be patient. I'll let my moment happen. He always plays the long game. Drix is really good about not being too impatient and just, waiting for his move. And it came for him, that's for sure. And what's crazy is, have you noticed that the top 4 have actually been able to gap out 5th place by 7 seconds? They haven't been slowing each other down at all, even while fighting.
Yeah, that's amazing to me. I'm currently watching a three-way battle between Gamer, Minico, and Scornsy, and this is also absolutely amazing to watch. They dive in left, right, and center all over the place to try and defend from each other.
Wow, yeah, Gamer trying to look for the alternate line right there against Scornsy, but Scornsy blocked it all the way off. Gamer couldn't find that switchback. Now Minico flies his way through. He's in 3-lap old hard, so he's got brand new tires. Gamer right up on the back of Red Bull. Bit of an aggressive line to that corner. I don't know if I like that that way that he took that. I think he probably should have braked a little bit earlier. But you know what? To each their own. They all have their own different ways of taking a corner. However, he is sitting in 16th, so not the best lap for him.
Yeah, that could have been very dangerous from Gamer there. He could have easily tapped the back of Scornsy and sent him spinning, because as soon as you touch the back of another car, the person ahead of you can't save it. There's no way.
That's a very good point. Now, somebody who's also getting a move done, Speedy Goose on Braided Axe. It was actually almost a big collision between the two of them going into turn 14. Speedy Goose actually ended up getting a little bit bumperoonied with Braided Axe, but it allowed Speedy Goose to fall behind Braided Axe going into the final corner, which meant that he got the DRS and made the pass done. Now, Speedy Goose sits in 8th. He's recovering well after that start, where he got sandwiched into that three-way sandwich and went down to the very back of the grid. Remember that?
Yeah, he's sitting in P8 now, so that's a very, very good recovery drive.
That's crazy.
Because we're only in lap 13.
Yeah. And actually, full strategies are starting to happen now. Xylo has made his stop 4 hards. While Drix and Giants fan have traded positions, Drix now sits in 2nd, Giants fan leading the race again. When is Giants fan going to go in, though? I'm wondering if this is his time to go in and cover off. He's going to stay out. He stays out. Interesting. Magical Forehead will also stay out. Brake tester. I'm not sure what Santiago's going to do. Given the fact that Xylo's already gone in, he went in early. I think those hards are going to die at the end of this race. Big time.
Yeah, Drix just flew past Giants fan again. to reclaim the lead of the race.
Bit of a snap actually from Drix coming out of turn 2. And now Giants fan might make a move on his way into turn 4. Not there quite yet. But looking for his spot. You can see him swerving to left and right, trying to find a way through. But Drix gives him no love, gives him no inches of room. And that's Giants fan having to hold back.
Yeah, Giants fan actually looking like he still has a lot of grip on those 13 laps mediums.
Yeah, I don't know how he's able to keep them so railed in. Like, you're right. Like, it is insane amounts of grip that he's able to keep on those things. I don't get what he's doing. He's nursing these things. Maybe he's putting Vaseline on them before the race. I don't know, man. Something's working because I feel like him and Magical Forehead have been whispering these tires to the maximum amount of their life. To be able to hold on to Drix, who's on those hards that really aren't working too hard, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's really impressive because he's not just taking the corners. He's diving left and right as well, so trying to find a way past Drix.
Yeah.
As we have a yellow in sector 1.
Yep.
That will be for Siege.
Yeah, looks like he left the session
rejoined
again.
then, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
He rejoined and then left again, I think.
Let me see if I can get him back in again.
Hooray for the network errors, right? Oh, that's Drix actually losing a spot to Magical Forehead. Ooh, opportunistic for Magical Forehead. Well done for him. And Drix almost on the back of Forehead, tapping him, but does not quite. Real close. K-Siz says, Dutchman wearing my design feels good. Yes, Dutchy is very happy to be wearing your shirt. A rightfully won shirt by Dutchy as well. For which season did you win again?
It was season 6, tier 4, and it was actually decided in the steward's room.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was a bit of a controversial safety car restart, to put it the least.
I remember that one very well. That was wild. I was watching that one live, and it blew my mind how crazy that one ended up. But obviously, the right winner got their title. So congratulations on that one. Now, speaking of a rightful winner, this guy Sketchy Bull, who won last week in Vegas, is now sitting in 11th place under serious pressure from Speedy Goose, who's sitting in 12th, who's on fresh hards as well, and will likely get past Sketchy Bull right here. Yep, there it is. It's done dusted. No way Sketchy Bull can defend this one going into turn. I want to say this is 10. Zeech just once again, unfortunately, had to leave the session. Looks like he's just having terrible network issues today. It's tough for Zeech. Very tough. For the front, we got...
Yeah, that's very unlucky.
Yeah, we got Andy going into the pits right here on those softs. Finally, took him a long time. But he really hung those things out to dry as long as he possibly could. Those mediums are on. Fresh boots are out. And he will come out in front of the McLaren of Rich Sebi. But only just. It actually might be tight as he comes out. Hold on a second. I'm not sure if he's going to come out in front. He might come out behind all of them. He's going to come out behind all of them. Or it's going to be a tight rejoin. Oh, my gosh. Very tight rejoin. Yeah, he's just behind all of them. It's a 4-car pack with Braided Axe, Gamer, Scornsy, and Sebi all hanging out here in 13th through 16th, with Scornsy and Gamer holding on by a thread. Old tires. How are they holding on? And, of course, Sebi on a very alternate strategy and Braided on some one-lap old hards.
Oh, this is going to be fun to watch for the next couple of laps.
Oh, yeah. At the very top, we got a Giants fan staying out, Magic Forehead pitting, and Drix pitting as well. Early pit stop for Drix. Hold on a second. What's Drix thinking?
Yeah, that's very early.
Yeah, I need to see what he's thinking. Is he going to go on mediums? He is. Yellow tires are on.
Yeah, I think he just saw the way those mediums worked for Giants fan, how Giants fan still has that grip available to him. And I think he's going to go to the end of the race from here on out.
Yeah, you're probably right. Now, Zylo, of course, pitted 4 laps earlier, and he's got a pretty big lead. He's got 4.5 seconds, 5-second lead over 5th and 6th, being Magic Forehead and Drix. So he's technically leading the race on net, as they call it. And Zylo hasn't caught up to hardly any traffic, so he hasn't been slowed down either, which is why he's been able to gap out such a big gap. Now 5.5 seconds between himself and Magic Forehead. That's a big gap right now. I don't know. I mean, I think Zylo's looking very pretty right now in this race. He's definitely got that good strategy. However, those 4-lap old hards that are older than the other guys that are just popping on the pits, how much of a difference do you think it's going to make at the end of the race?
That might actually make all the difference, because if the cliff is right at the end of the race, then it might then it just I'm at a loss for words here. My brain isn't working.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, you're right. At the very end of the race, there might be a big cliff where these tires just entirely fall off. And if it does happen with about 3 or 4 laps left to go, then that's really bad news. Now, Drick's going to make a move past Magical Forehead. He's on the superior tire. He's on the mediums. Forehead on the hards. Drick's going to fly by with absolutely no problem. Going into turn 1, it looks pretty clean between the two of them. I'm wondering, is Drick's going to try to gap out? Oh, Drix is really trying, and he's actually making a mistake coming out of turn 2 and 3. What's he got? Is he going to be able to hold this one off? I don't know. Magical Forehead looking for a move onto turn 4. Not going to have it. Has to stick behind. But that was almost disaster from Drix right there. Uh-oh. Drix is on the pressure.
Yeah, he went very wide into out of turn 2 and really compromised himself for turn 3.
Yeah, I think he was just putting on the pressure, a little bit too much on himself. He's getting a little bit heavy on the gas, and that's all it takes every once in a while. It's just one little oversteer moment, and that can be the end of your race. So these guys got to be careful not to go too crazy with it. But of course, they got to keep pushing. Now, Xylo just makes it past CDR Nathan right here, going into turn 10. He's looking pretty clean. And Xylo, I'm sure he's feeling pretty happy sitting in third right now. As insane as this racing has been, it also has been basically just people swapping back and forth. They just somebody gets the position, and then the other person loses it and gives it back. It's back to breath, back and forth over and over and over again. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's what you usually get in Spain.
That's true.
It's what you usually get in places like Austria as well. It's great overtaking places, but running away from someone is near on impossible.
Yep. Now, hold on a second. It's funny Andy just said something in chat, which I was about to say the same thing. But 2 other things, actually. 1, Santiago just got on softs, brand new softs. He's going to take this to the end of the race. He's going to go for 14 laps on these things. That's a brave move. But 2, Dutchy, how many people are still on track right now?
All of our 20 drivers.
What is this, dude? What is this race?
I mean, I'd say technically 19 since
Yeah.
Siege has had a lot of technical issues this race.
That's
I
true.
mean, fair play to him to still be driving and only 5 seconds behind Scornsey.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's still holding on. And, something that I will say is something that, I noticed going into this season, I thought was going to be so much stronger, is Scornsey. Oh, nice pass from Brake Tester. But it has not quite been, the pace that he's had, or that I thought he was going to have. Giants fan on the new softs. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out right in front of his teammate, Dougie Falcons, by a bit of a margin. He's about 5 to 6 seconds behind Forehead and Drix and Xylo, but on the softs. How much of a push is Giants fan about to make here? Do you think Giants fan has a chance at this win right now? He's got 8 seconds to make up effectively between all these 3 drivers to get this win over Xylo. Do we see 8 seconds of pace over 13 laps?
Oh, that's gonna be a big ask. That
That's
is going to
big
be
ask.
a big ask. But if he can keep his tires in relatively good condition, it might be doable. Although he will be struggling a lot at the end of the race.
Yeah, big time. I mean, he needs to haul right now for the first 7 laps. He needs to be able to put 2 seconds a lap on these guys ahead of him. He needs to be
At
so
least.
fast. Oh yeah, otherwise there's no way he can find his way, up to the top step. Also, holy smokes, Andy's putting out another point. There's still no penalties either, which I don't know how.
I mean, we've had a couple, but they've all been removed due to the pit stops.
They've all been served. This is weird, dude. What is going on?
It almost feels like a Rule F1 race.
It does, doesn't it? This is a different tier 1 we're watching today, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very, very different tier 1. A great tier 1 for sure. There goes Brake Tester on the softs, throwing down the fast lap of the race. And Giants fan is moving up. He's making up time for sure. Drix is actually right up in the back of Magical Forehead too, who does not have DRS to save him. So Magical Forehead, it's in danger going forward. Drix really, really tight on the brakes. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, and he says, is this someone else's tier 1? This is definitely isn't the MRL tier 1.
So you would say that this is quite unusual, the way this race is playing out right
Absolutely,
now.
yeah. It's great. I'm happy about it, but it's very unusual. This is very different. Those of you guys who are regular viewers here in Tier 1, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Usually we'd have at least 3 or 4 people out of this race by now, but no. Now, however, one thing I've noticed about Tier 1 They find a way to get a safety car with about 2 laps left to go. So it's a 3-lap shoot. So it's like a 2-lap shootout. They seem to find a way to do that every single week as well. So this is definitely not over yet. The safety cars are still very much so possible. There goes Drix making a move on the inside of Magical Forehead into turn 1. Almost certainly going to be done and dusted long before the corner. Yep, he's got it done. Very easy move for Drix. He's through.
Yeah, so the thing I was actually going to say is, since it's so unusual, it's actually quite weird that it's the race where we have so many reserves that people are able to keep it clean and there are no retirements.
That's a very good point. If we go ahead and point out all of our reserves from top to bottom, we got Dougie Falcons, we got DeFi, we got... No way that's it. So many people were claiming reserves. Nobody had signed in, and now we're just down to just 2 reserves. That's hilarious. And what's funny is that's amazing, but that's actually more than usual. So, that's crazy. Now, actually, hold on. Good point. I didn't even notice this in the telemetry. It looks like Magical Forehead has a fuel light on. I wonder if he underfueled expecting a safety car. And now he's not getting it.
Yeah, he might be panicking a little bit. He might be fuel saving a little bit.
If I was him, I would have to. You know, it's hard though because you can also hang out in DRS and get some fuel save out of that as well. But you can't be making passes, you know. And it's hard not to make passes when you're in DRS zone. Like, look at that. There he goes, right there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he's in a rock and a hard place. What do? You have to save fuel, which is 10 laps to go. But at the same time, you also can't stick behind somebody because you got Giants fan breathing down your neck, making up positions, or making up time left, right, and center. He's already only 2 seconds away from them. He was 4.5 seconds away 2 laps ago. He's making the time up that he needs to be making. What do you do if you're Magical Forehead?
Yeah, well, that problem for Magical Forehead actually plays beautifully in the hands of Giants fan because as long as Magical Forehead is in front, Drix is also going to be slower, just naturally by the fuel saving. So that really allows Giants fan to get into that window of opportunity that he needs.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, speaking of something also interesting in that timetable, take a look at the person in 10th place right there. It's Sketchybull. He's sitting on 20-lap old hards. Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's really hanging these things out to dry. If you were Sketchybull, do you think you would make this pit stop and just, you know, take the lots and positions, or would you try to somehow take this to the very end? He's done this a couple times, and it does not usually work out for him.
I mean, at this phase in the race, you gotta stick it out to hope for a safety car at the end.
Yeah.
It's the only option you have.
I think you're right. Now, somebody who does have a good option right now, and that option is an overtake, is Speedy Goose. Easy push over, don't blink. They're going to be back and forth all the way to the very end of this race, I'm sure, assuming they don't take each other out, right? I don't think either of them are going to be able to get away from each other, so it's a battle for 8th and 9th right now. 10th is pretty
Drix
secure.
is also very close to Magical Forehead right now.
Look at Giants fan.
And Giants fan has caught up.
He's 7/10 out. He's right on him.
This is going to be spicy.
Oh, and Drix just got 3 seconds. Oh, no.
Well, there we have our penalties.
Drix is our first penalty on the board. And for him fighting for a win to have to grab a penalty right now is terrible. Magical Forehead and Drix have also caught up to Xylo. He had 4 seconds not too long ago. Now he's only down to 1. Those 4-lap older tires of Xylo are really struggling right now. He's almost stuck in DRS zone, but Giants fan has a crazy run on Drix coming out of that corner. There's a potential pass coming up in the next couple laps.
Yeah, we're going to have some chaos in the next couple of laps here for the lead.
So. It's the same for it, too. It's funny how nothing ever changes. Like, from the start of this race to the finish of this race, it's these same 4 guys always fighting it at the very sharp end of the stick. Like, they're really going for it. There goes Giants fan. Soft tire advantage right there. It's very obvious on his way into turn 4, excuse me. He'll have the move done. Easy for him. Now it's time for him to chop Magical Forehead. He has to make those moves in non-traditional spots, though, because otherwise he's just going to get stuck in this DRS, you know, chicken swap where they keep swapping positions if he doesn't make these moves in crazy spots.
Yeah,
like right now,
and Giants fan also has a lot of ERS still to play with, so he's not even be using that much ERS.
He's about to
and
use it
still
too.
being able to
Oh
catching
my
up
God.
that easily.
Yeah, he just made another one. He's in second now. Wow. Magical Forehead had nothing to say about that one. He even had DRS, and he still couldn't respond to that one at all. And now Giants fan on the hunt to pass Xylo. Now remember, he does still have to make these softs last an extra 8 more laps on top of this. So still a long stint.
Yeah, that was something I was gonna say. He might get in the lead now, or he is gonna get in the lead now.
Yeah.
But come lap 30, I think we're gonna see Silo and Magical Forehead really pressuring him again.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And you know, I'm curious how much it's really going to drop off, and if he's going to be able to gap out as well is a big thing. Because if he can gap right here in the next lap or two and gap out of DRS zone from Xylo, then it's a different story. But if Xylo can hold on to DRS for the next 4 laps, then I see Xylo having a genuine shot at this win still after Giants fans' tires hit the wall.
Yeah, I think he just gotta stay there for 2 laps though, because Silo of Giants fans' tires must be hitting that 25% range right now, that cliff range.
That's true.
Because he's already done 6 laps on them.
That's a very good point. Yeah, they usually lose about 3 to 5% every single lap, and so that would put their math somewhere between 24 and 28% of wear right now. Oh, that's a really good point, man. He might be in that danger zone right here where he's going to start losing all that grip advantage. Now, a little bit farther down, Dougie Falcon still fighting Brake Tesser or Santiago Robles for that 5th place position. Santiago not wanting to give it up. He's on 7-lap-old softs as well as Giants fan. And Dougie's on 11-lap-old mediums. A little farther up, it's Drix and Forehead. Drix gets in front of Forehead. Now sits in 3rd, but again, with those time penalties, he'll be stuck in 4th. Behind them, it's still Dougie and Brake Tester, but Dougie has to stay behind. And we got Don't Blink trying to catch up to Speedy Goose, who's sitting in 8th. What a recovery drive from Speedy Goose. But, of course, Don't Blink not able to catch back up. Excuse me, Yogurt. Throat Yogurt. Not able to catch up and sits in 9th. It's such a silly name, man. What the heck? And our championship leader, Minico, in 14th. Way down the field. Oh, my gosh. Well, that's a tough race for him, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he said he was going to lose the lead of the championship this race, and, well, I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. With that quality band, too, I mean, it's definitely hard. Even though it is Spain and there's opportunity for a lot of overtakes, it's still Tier 1. It's hard to make overtakes. He might have one right here on Indy. Hold on a second. Outside line going to be good to him? Yeah, it looks like he will. He'll go around and go around the outside of Andy. Have it done. That was clean. But he's still quite a few seconds away from points. Quite a few seconds away. He's, oh my gosh, 20 seconds almost away from points? 17 seconds, excuse me, give or take. Wow. That's tough. If I was
Yeah, that's
Minico,
really tough.
I'd be sad right now. Oh, actually, one thing I do want to mention about Giants fan. We see him leading the race right now. Do you know what else he's done today?
No.
He's commentated 3 races.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Tier 6, Tier 5, and Tier 4. He was co-commentating, and yet is still leading the Tier 1 race. And he also has the no assist race right after this.
Wow. A big round of applause for this, man. The dedication from him. Jeez.
Yeah. I know. I don't know what's more impressive, that or the hotel room racing. They're both pretty equally impressive. And
being part of, what, 5 out of the 7 races? Or 6 out of the 7 races? No, 5 out of the 7 races. That's huge.
Insane. The only races he wasn't like a part of, quote unquote, was Tier 3 and Tier 2. That's it. Everything else he's been going for.
Yeah, but that's obviously because he has to prepare for his Tier 1 race.
Correct.
So,
and no assist.
So just big props to Giants fans for just committing his whole day towards MRL.
Yeah, that's mega. Now, Xylo is trying to commit his whole car towards an overtake, and he hasn't been able to figure it out. He is still 4/10 behind Giants fan, but Giants fan has not pulled out. You were mentioning that the tires are going to start falling off, but I'm sure Xylos are also falling off too. That's what's the question. If they're both losing it, I mean, like, I would obviously go with whoever's got the track position, because it doesn't seem like Xylo's able to catch up any ground in these corners. And in the straights, neither as well, because Giants fans have been managing his energy so phenomenally. Like, not wasting a single bit.
Yeah, energy ERS management from Giants fan is just absolutely perfect almost. Whenever he doesn't need to, he doesn't use ERS. He seems to know exactly when he needs to use it, which is really just keeping him in the lead here.
Yeah, he's been driving basically about as perfect of a race as you possibly can. After sitting himself in second place in qualifying and Magical Forehead getting himself on pole, they're going into the final couple laps, and it's still this same business as she wrote, with Giants Fan sitting in the lead, Xylo in second, Drix in third, and Magical fourth. It's been like this for quite a few laps. A little bit farther down the timetable, we got Don't Blink and Speedy Goose still finding it out. Coming around turn 11 right here, or sorry, 12, and now into 13, and of course the final corner of turn 14. This resurface right-hander, dang near flat out. They fly, and it looks like Speedy Goose will probably hold off this position for one more lap at least.
Yeah, Magical Forehead just seeming to be falling back of that top 3 group now, sitting 8 tenths behind.
That's true. However, he does have that time penalty to bank off of Drix, so I think
he's got a guaranteed podium at the moment.
Yeah, assuming he doesn't, lose 3 seconds total, which is possible.
Which he shouldn't.
Yeah, he shouldn't, but it's possible. That's for sure. In fact, now he's out of DRS. Hold on a second, he's really out of it. Yeah, something's gone wrong for him for sure.
Well, Drix is trying to find a way past Xylo. He's all of a sudden fired his tires up.
Yeah, took him a while. But,
I mean, better late than never, but
it
might be too little too late for Drix here, with that 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, and of course he doesn't have enough energy either to make this move done, so Xylo's going to be able to go defensive, hold him off, will not be able to get past Giants Fan either, but it's Drix, Xylo, and Giants Fan making up third, second, and first still, with Magical Forehead falling off, now sitting pretty far back and forth, a little over a second away, and Brake Tester in fifth, 12 seconds out from the top 4, huge gap. Dougie Falcons in 6th, CDR Nathan sits in 7th, Speedy Goose in 8th, Blink in 9th, and DeFi rounds out the top 10 as of right now. The back 10, nowhere near each other except for Scornsy and Gamer. They're fighting it out pretty hard. Oh, and then Sebi and Andy as well, excuse me.
Yeah, I've been watching Scornsy and Gamer for the last couple of laps, and they've really just been jockeying for position every single lap, and also making moves in unorthodox places. It's absolutely amazing to watch.
Where's one of the spots that you were like pretty surprised they could make it down? Is it like that turn 4 area into the hairpin?
Yeah, I saw Scornsy going around the outside of turn 4 and just hanging it in there to get the inside for turn 5 and getting past that way. And then on the next straight, Gamer just gained so much speed that he went down the inside of turn 10.
It's funny how that works out. You're right. It is just a full jockeying for position where they just keep going back and forth, and no one really is able to hold down an advantage for too long. And at the very top, though, it's Xylo and Giants Fan. It's tighter than ever, and Drix sits in third. It is getting tight, man. We're on the second to last lap right here, the penultimate lap. And these drivers have to give it everything they can. The softs of Giants Fan just need to hang on a little bit longer. The hards of Xylo need to have a little bit more pace. And those mediums for Drix are not going to give him 3 seconds, almost certainly, barring some big incident with the 2 cars in front of him. They are catching a lapped car of Zeech. Oh my gosh. That's wild that they're actually going to lap somebody today.
Yeah, that is crazy. And Magical 4 is just doing the smart thing and just sitting behind, picking up that final place, or maybe even more if there is drama up in front of him.
That is true. It's never too late for people to gain positions here in Tier 1. You never know how it's going to finish until it actually does. And I can tell you that I think that one of these guys is going to win or the other one's going to win, but I have no clue because it's just not over yet.
No, it's not. It ain't over till it's over, and we're heading on to the last lap now with Xylo trying to make a move.
Oh, Xylo has got a lap car.
He goes, wow.
What a spot to do it, Xylo. Great job from him. He is now up and into the lead, and Giants Fan has to find something special here to get this spot back. Now, this battle is age-old. These are the 2 guys that fought for the championship last season. It was won by Giants Fan on the final race. More so, honestly, it was actually lost by Xylo as he had it in the bag and had a bit of a mistake. Giants Fan now needs to have that mistake happen to Xylo again. Is he going to find his way through going in to turn 9? They're going through 7 right here. 8. And they're up into 9. It's not the pace that he needs. He's a little far away.
Yeah, Giants Fan is running low on fuel.
They all are. They're all at the very end of it. They're going to have just enough to get to the end, but will Giants Fan have enough grip to get to the end as well? Xylo, so far, is holding it on. It's going to be down to the wire, man. I think it's going to be Xylo, though. He's just got 2 more corners. 1, and barring some crazy mistake, it's going to be Xylo. Speedy goes DNFs on the final lap. And Xylo takes the win right here, just over Giants Fan by just 0.2 of a second. Drix in a third, but will lose off of penalties to Magical Forehead. 4th place goes to Drix now. Falcons in 5th, Break Tester in 6th, Nathan in 7th, Blake in 8th, DeFi in 9th, and Braydax in 10th. But Speedy Goose would have been higher up. Oh my gosh, and instead, he is DNF'd in the final lap, giving a position to Braided Axe, who will bring home the final point position, unless Minico has something to say about it, but I don't think he will. No, he will not. Wow, what? We have our final DNF. We have our one and only DNF on the final lap of the race, on 19-lap-old hards of Speedy Goose around the chicane.
Gamer and Swansea going it for it as well here on the last lap.
Oh, they are fighting for it. Looks like Gamer may have had the advantage over him. Yeah, I think he does. Yo, wow. Look at that. The battle never finishes until the very end. It might be a push for Scornsey. Not going to be there quite yet. Scornsey in 16th. Just out of it.
Stranded Aston Martin as well over the line.
I think it might be Minico. Yeah, it's Minico. Oh, yeah, his car's broken. Wow.
Wow, but that was very unlucky for Speedy Goose, because it looks like he just lost it out of turn 7 there.
Yep.
Just on the curb of turn 8, and it's just spun him straight into the wall.
That's tough, man. That's the worst way to lose it too. Like, if there's any way to lose, a guaranteed points finish, it's the final lap. Oh man, by your own volition too.
That's not the way to do it.
No, that's tough, man. Well, hey, congratulations to all these drivers. A surprisingly clean race for everybody, with Xylo coming home as the winner, Giants Fan in 2nd by only just, and Magic Forehead comes home in 3rd. Drix in 4th, though, after those penalties. Dougie Falcons in 5th. Great job from him. Well done.
He's got a lost.
Yeah, he started in last, and he's definitely driver of the day, I would say. They get 15 positions. 6th goes to Break Tester. There's one of Santiago Robles, who started in 12th. 7th to Nathan. 8th to Blank. 9th to DeFi as a reserve driver with the fastest lap of the race as well. We'll get an extra point for his troubles. And Braided Axe in 10th in the AlphaTauri after starting in 16th. Pretty far out of the points when he started as well. That's crazy, man. That's so nuts. I'm surprised that Sketchy Bull found his way back all the way up to P12, though, because it's not that he started in last, it's that he was in last by the end of lap 1. And that's a big difference, because he was far away from the pack by the end of lap 1, and he still found his way back up to 12th versus everybody else.
Yeah, he was far
Like,
away.
great
almost a pit stop behind the driver in front of him, I think.
Yep, it's good recovery. Minico, of course, just besting him right in front of him. 13th to Andy, 14th to Sebi, 15th to Gamer, 16th to Scornsey, 17th to Snaky, 18th to the DNF of Speedy Goose, 19th and 20th to Yellow Summon and Zeech, who both got lapped. I'm surprised about that. But Yellow Summon and Zeech both getting lapped and finishing in the bottom 2 positions. Zeech actually lapped 3 times. Oh, no. Wow. What a race, man. Do you want to go ahead and send a message to our podium finishers in Tier 1 chat and see if any of them want to jump in for a quick old interview?
Yes, I'll get on it.
Great job from those guys. That was absolutely nuts. Magical Forehead especially, I think the way that he converted that pole, of course, losing 2 positions is never fun, but I think he did a great job to hold on as best he could. It's hard, when you're in that position, to hold on to a race lead from pole position. It's really tough. But for Xylo to come home with that win, I'm sure he's pretty stoked about that. It's been a while since he's gotten a race win here at the Moose Racing League, and Giants Fan coming home in 2nd. He won't be stoked about it, but he won't be mad about it. I think he'll just be all right and say that is what it is. Yeah,
Xylo is already waiting in the interview room, so I can.
So yeah, go ahead and drag him in. Do I see Mr. Xylo?
Absolutely, yeah.
My man, how are you feeling? I'm sure you're feeling pretty good right about now.
Absolutely, I'm dripping in sweat. I pushed so hard. Like when I went for the undercut, I was like doing poly laps the whole time.
Oh wow, man, yeah. I had a feeling you were really pushing for it. I mean, you were flying at the end of that stint, and to get that win, very well deserved. You definitely planned out the strategy about as perfectly as possible. It was interesting to see how you and Giants Fan had so different strategies, yet you ended up within 0.2 of each other at the end of the race. Tell me about that little battle. Did that harken a little bit back to last season? How'd that feel?
Felt good. Compared to last season, It's a big difference, and I feel like this is some revenge from last time we raced in Spain where I lost.
Yeah, remind me exactly what happened last time you guys raced in Spain. I don't remember that one. I remember it being a little bit rough from the start, for sure.
Yeah, so I think it was like me, Jack Leffer, and Giants. I took out Jack Leffer, and then when I came out the box, Giants fan took me out.
Yep, I remember this
Then-
one now. It was kind of like everybody killing each other. Oh, that was a good one. That was a great race. That was so fun. And then everybody crashed in the start as well. I remember that one so well. That was what a race that one was. Now this is I don't know if you know this, but we've raced at Spain every single season in Moose Racing League. And so for this to be our 8th time here at Spain, it went phenomenal. And, I think you deserve a big congratulations for a win here. Now, going into next week, we're going to a retired track, as it is, of France. Now, of course, these tracks like this, for whatever reason, some people are really good at and some people are super terrible at. Do you find yourself pretty strong at France, or are you a little worried?
I mean, last time I raced in France, it was my first season in MRL, and I feel like I had the pace to win, but I mean, I remember it wasn't so lucky as I got taken out like 3 times.
Yep, I remember that race. I remember that's where I coined Giants fan Giants toast. That was a good one. That was a very good race. Yeah, that was wild. That was very wild. There were some pretty crazy moments, and I think I remember you specifically on some of those spots where they got extra wild. So yeah, I'm hoping that this one's going to be a little bit cleaner, a little bit more fun. I have faith for a good race, and so I wish you the best, man. Congratulations again on today's race, and we'll catch you later.
Right, thank you.
See you later.
See ya.
All right, Dutchy, who we got next?
We got both of them sitting in the interview waiting room.
Take your pick.
Let's go with your boy Magical Forehead first.
Ooh. Oh, looks like it booted him. Well, he'll join back in a second. Hooray for little technical issues. This is normal for Discord. Hooray. Now, some people in chat are saying they love France. Andy says he loves France. Are you a fan of France?
I've only raced, properly raced there once, and it was also in my first season of MRL.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, could have got a podium that race, but with a little bit of mixed conditions, I got bumped out of the podium spot.
Yes, I remember that one. Well, hey, another
Someone
person
who did not do that is Magical Forehead.
Yeah, much better result. Magical Forehead, how are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty well. Did get any incidents this time. Just kept it clean, and then stayed within Drix at the end and got a podium.
Yeah, great job in the
So
podium.
yeah, I thought I had a good race.
Unfortunate, obviously, to go from a ridiculous pole position lap, which seriously, that was nuts.
Beautiful.
Was that like one of the laps of your life kind of laps?
Yeah, like I was practicing short quality a couple days before this. My best was like a 10.85, and then I got a 0.81 right now.
Wow.
So yeah, it was great.
So you actually beat your best lap.
Yeah, I PB'd. in a league
Holy
race.
smokes. That's insane.
Great.
What a day to PB,
talk
man.
about working on the pressure.
Yeah. And that was at the very end too. You were the final person to set a lap in the entire grid. So great way to finish that one off, man. You definitely stole away Giants fans' thunder. Now, of course, Giants fan ended up converting his P2 back to a P2. That battle between the 4 of you guys at the very end, for the entire race effectively, was so great. Tell me about how that was working. Do you feel like you guys were actually improving on each other and helping each other gap out, or do you think it was maybe even slowing some of you guys down?
We were definitely gapping each other out. We barely went side by side, especially when we all pit, and then me and Drix were just DRSing each other. Yeah. Because we wanted to get back to Xylo.
Yep. Which you guys did. I was surprised. Honestly, when I saw Xylo had a 4-lap, differential on those hards, it was a big undercut for him. I was a little bit worried for him, but it seems like at the very end of the race, everybody's tires just kind of sucked. Yeah. And if everybody sucks equally, then the racing will be good. So it seems like that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of went like really away from them in the final 5 laps.
Yeah.
I had to save like a half a lap of fuel.
Yeah.
In the last half of the race.
So were you expecting a safety car?
Yeah. And I was like, oh shoot, I gotta make it to the end. So I had to let Xylo and Drix by, or not Xylo, Giants fan and Drix by.
So how much is actually under fuel by?
I went down by a whole lap. So I just safety car, it'll be fine.
Yeah, of course.
And then the VSC helped out like half of it.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about it during the first stint. I should have been saving then because I was just chilling in 4th behind all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was in a bit of trouble at the end.
I mean, I would have forgotten about it too because you were really working for it. I mean, like, you had to fight the whole way through, and it was kind of hard to save fuel. So, so I don't blame you. You were giving it everything you had. And overall, man, it was a great race. We're going to France next week. It's a little bit kinder on fuel of a track as well, even though it's so high speed. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Some people will have crazy high downforce. Some people have crazy low downforce. And I wish you the best of luck going there, man.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We'll see you later, Skater.
See ya.
All right, and we're going to grab our P2 finisher, who will have to get out of here pretty quickly, I'm sure. He's got a race. And, of course, he did the same disconnect thing again.
Right.
There it goes, yep. He'll jump in here in a second. He can also usually pull himself in here. Hey, Giants fan, how's it going, man? Great job.
Thank you.
Holy smokes, you are on hour 5 of Moose Racing League today, and that ended with a P2. What a way to do it. You almost had the win, too, by just 0.2 of a second. Tell me about what was going through your head. I know, man. Tell me what was going through your head in those last couple laps.
I thought I was a genius staying out in the mediums and going to softs there, but I don't know. I was amazed Xylo stayed with me, to be honest with you. I thought his hards were going to be cooked because he boxed early for him.
Yeah.
But credit to him, he took care of him, got him to the last, and I just couldn't shake him.
Yeah, he was he definitely was really on it today. I was quite surprised with the level of pace that he was putting down as well. Like you said, I thought that it was going to be you gapping him out pretty quickly. I think if you would have gapped him out, it would have been a pretty easy win for you. But because of the fact that you never got out of the DRS, it was going to be hard.
I was close the one time, too. I was dumping ERS, and I had a little mistake out of, I think it was turn 5, I think. And he was like 7/8 tenths back at the time, and I was just dumping ERS. I was going to try and just get out of the DRS, but I made a mistake and ended up having to kind of just fall in line, and I wasn't able to get back to that point.
Yep. Sometimes it's just one little thing that'll do it. Now, this was Dutchy's first time getting a chance to really commentate and watch these Tier 1 races. Dutchy, when you were watching Giants fans race craft and all that kind of stuff, what were you really loving?
I was just really loving your aggression, the way you just move around in the mirrors, trying to force an error. It's just very crazy to watch. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I always try to give a little fake. The problem is I never actually send it. So I think guys are just kind of used to it at this point, so they know it's not gonna do anything. Yeah. So one of these days I just gotta send it just to kind of keep them in line.
Yeah, you gotta test the waters every once in a while, you know.
you gotta keep them
honest.
on the toes.
Yep.
I know that I'm not doing a good enough job of that, I think.
Well, hey, next week we're going to a track that's infamous to you. It's where I coined you Giants Toast. We're going to France.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be a crazy race once again. It's been wild many seasons before when we've gotten to race it. If I recall correctly, many off the starting line, big crashes and all that kind of stuff. Many Oprah races were 10 or less finishers. So, with this race being so clean, do you expect that same level of cleanliness going into France, or do you think it's just going to get rowdy?
No, I do. I expect it to keep clean. I mean, we got a pretty good group. I know the back end is a little questionable at times, but I know the front end of the grid has just been outstanding this year, especially compared to last season.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's definitely a level of trust between the drivers. Like, I trust Drix, I trust Xylo, I trust Magical Forehead. I know that I leave them the space. They're not gonna do nothing dumb, and we're gonna get along just fine. So it's been a really great season in terms of the racing quality at the front end of the grid.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's been exceptionally fun to both, watch and also commentate on. And I'm sure to be driving into it is even better. So, great race again today, man. I'm excited to see you next week. And good luck tonight in no assists. I know you're running back-to-back. You're on going to be hour 6 right now of Moose Racing League for the day. So thanks again for all your hard work and dedication to the league today. You're amazing. And can't wait to see you next week for some France.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
We'll chat to you later.
See ya.
Alrighty, Dutchy. Well, man, that was a great racing opportunity for us to go and commentate tonight, huh?
Yeah, that was an amazing race. Action everywhere you look. And, wow, just entertainment all the way through.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to have you back again on another Tier 1 race because they're like this every single week. It's wild, man. It's so nuts. That top end of the field it's always back and forth. It's always within the tiniest of margins. It's feeling very, very esportsy these days, which is kind of wild, but really great to see. So thanks again for joining me, man.
Yeah, no worries. I definitely want to come back after that race. That was absolutely amazing. I loved it.
No, yeah, you got spoiled a little bit. Well,
Yeah.
since we're gonna be going into next week at France, any parting words before we head out of here and go ahead and send everybody to no assists?
Well, Giants fans not the only one who's doing a back-to-back. I'm also doing a back-to-back because
There we
I'm
go.
also going to be commentating on no assists. So, if you like me, make sure you tune in to no assists as well, and I'll see you all you beautiful people there.
Of course. Well, I'm sure you're gonna be getting a lot of people now that you gave yourself that self plug. That's a good way to get a good turnout. Well, yeah, seriously, man. Thanks again for pulling the double duty tonight. Have a ton of fun over at No Assists, and thanks so much to everybody watching tonight. Hope you guys all had a blast. We're gonna send you all over to No Assists. Until then, keep being wonderful, keep making the world a better place, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.